What if I told you the world's deadliest war might not start with a full-scale invasion or a warning shot, but with a simple miscalculation, a single missile, a single lie, a single flash of light that changes everything forever? Iran and Israel, two countries divided by history, politics, religion, and pride. Two countries with the power to destroy each other and maybe take the rest of us down with them. This is not science fiction. This is not the future. This is what could happen any day now. This is what if Iran and Israel started a nuclear war, once. These two nations weren't enemies. Before 1979, Iran and Israel actually cooperated. Under the Shah, Iran sold oil to Israel. Israeli engineers and scientists worked in Tehran. They weren't allies, but they weren't enemies either. But everything changed with one revolution, in 1979. Iran overthrew the Shah and became an Islamic republic. Ayatollah Khomeini called Israel the little Satan. Overnight, the old friendship turned into rage. A new enemy was born. Since then, Iran has refused to recognize Israel's existence. And Israel? They saw Iran as the greatest threat to their survival. They've never fought a full war, but they've been fighting in the shadows. For over 40 years, you see, Iran and Israel don't fight directly. They use others. Iran funds and arms Hezbollah in Lebanon, support Islamic Jihad in Gaza. They train militias in Iraq and Syria. Meanwhile, Israel fights back with precision. They assassinate Iranian nuclear scientists on the streets of Tehran. They hack into Iranian systems and cripple their nuclear programs. They bomb Iranian bases in Syria and Lebanon. Nobody admits it, but the war is real. And it's growing. But it's not just about missiles and spies. At the center of everything is a quiet, deadly race. Nuclear weapons. Israel has never officially said they have them. But the world knows. They have the capability, the technology, the warheads, probably between 80 and 200 nuclear weapons. And they're ready to use them if pushed. Iran says it doesn't want nuclear bombs. But their uranium is enriched. Their scientists are working. The world is watching. When the U.S. pulled out of the Iran nuclear deal in 2018, Iran returned to its program. Now, in 2025, experts say they could build a bomb in weeks. And Israel has a rule, a red line. Iran must never go nuclear. If that line is crossed, Israel will strike first. Wars are not started by countries. They're started by people. Benjamin Netanyahu has spent his career warning the world about Iran. It's called it the biggest threat to Jewish survival since Hitler. On the other side, Iranian leaders have called Israel a cancer and a fake regime. Some have said it must be wiped off the map. These are not just angry words. They are written into national strategy. When the wrong people rise to power, people who don't fear war, the path to nuclear disaster opens wide. So how would it begin? Imagine this. An Iranian-backed militia in Syria fires rockets into northern Israel. People die. Children. Civilians. Israel strikes back. Not just the militia, but Iranian bases in Syria. Iran retaliates. They launch ballistic missiles. Some are intercepted. But some hit Tel Aviv. The world watches then. Israel's intelligence detects unusual activity. Maybe a nuke is being prepared. Maybe not, but they don't wait. They launch a preemptive nuclear strike. The Samson option, multiple nuclear warheads are fired. Iran's military bases, command bunkers, even major cities. And then silence, but only for a moment. Because if Iran has any nuclear capability left, or even chemical weapons, they will respond. The world believes that nuclear war would start between superpowers. Between the US and Russia, between giants. But what if the fire comes from the Middle East? From a land already soaked in war, already torn by religion, already trembling with rage. This is not fiction. This is not far away. This is no and. This is only the beginning. It's just after 4 a.m. No one sees it coming, but it's already too late. The first missile has left the launch pad, asterisk, in secret military bunkers. The unthinkable is happening. For Israel, it starts with satellite images. Something moves in the Iranian desert. Too large, too fast. A missile. Israel's early warning systems activate. The government has seconds, not minutes, to respond. But by the time confirmation reaches the top, the missile is already in the sky. Asterisk, it hits just outside the city. Not nuclear, but powerful. A heavy ballistic strike. Hundreds are dead, thousands injured. The world holds its breath. Israel has just been hit by Iran, but it's not the attack that matters. It's what comes next. Asterisk, within 1 hour, Israel retaliates. But this time, they don't just hit proxy bases. They target Iranian air bases, nuclear facilities, command centers. 6 cities across Iran lose power. Major roads are cratered. And then, one mistake changes everything. An Israeli missile hits the wrong target. A hospital. Children die. Live footage spreads in seconds. The Middle East explodes in fury. Asterisk, the region is no longer a battleground. It's a firestorm. Everyone is pulled. And everyone has something to lose. In Gaza, fighters mobilize. In Jordan, the king calls for ceasefire. In Egypt, panic spreads through the streets, and all the while satellites show. Something terrifying. Iran's military is preparing something bigger. Asterisk, at 8:19 p.m., Israel activates the Samson option. A nuclear doctrine designed for one thing: survival at any cost. Tactical nuclear warheads are loaded. Missile submarines change course. 3 fighter jets vanish into the blackness of night. Asterisk, for the first time since Hiroshima. A nuclear weapon has been used in war. It's only the beginning. Asterisk, markets crash. Airlines are grounded. Martial law is declared in multiple countries. The world is paralyzed and afraid. Asterisk, the first strike has been made. The balance is broken. And the countdown to total destruction has begun. When the first nuclear bomb dropped, it did not just destroy a city. It broke something much deeper: trust, hope, and control. Israel's strike on Iran was only the beginning. In the hours that followed, a wave of chaos swept across the region. Asterisk, nations neighboring the conflict erupted in panic. In Lebanon, Hezbollah launched its own attacks on Israel and Syria. Iranian-backed militias targeted U.S. bases. Yemen's Houthis fired drones toward Saudi oil fields. The region, already fragile, fractured completely. Refugees flooded the borders of Jordan and Turkey. Hospitals collapsed under radiation casualties. Radiation clouds drifted toward Iraq, Kuwait, and Afghanistan. Governments could not keep order. Militias took over cities. Ancient lands turned to ash. Asterisk, not a local war anymore. Markets around the world crashed. Oil prices tripled overnight. Planes stopped flying. Ports shut down. Food shortages began in Asia and Africa. Europe activated civil defense systems. China and Russia moved their missiles too. Full alert. The U.S. evacuated diplomats and put bombers in the sky and all over Earth. From London to Nairobi to Buenos Aires, people began to ask, is this it back in the war zone? The worst had only just begun. Radiation drifted with the wind water supplies. Where poison power grids failed and Israel underground bunkers overflowed and Iran leadership disappeared, chaos ruled. But the horror was not just from the nukes. It was from the silence afterward. Governments gone, communications lost, and in the dark. Fear grew louder in many cities. People looted and fled. Others simply waited for the next bomb or the end of sunlight. Asterisk. Then the skies changed. Mushroom clouds punched into the stratosphere. Ash and soot blocked the sun. Temperatures dropped by 10 to 15 degrees. Crops failed across India, China, and the U.S. It was not just war anymore. It was famine. It was extinction bird. Stopped migrating. Rain stopped falling. Millions starved, not from fire but from cold. Some say humanity would survive, that life would go on, that new leaders would rise, that civilization would rebuild. But in this timeline it is different. Nations are gone. Trust is dead. Survivors are scattered, afraid and angry. The greatest danger now is not the bomb. It is what comes after. What happens when survivors start to fight over what is left? What happens when every country fears the next history will not be written by victors, only by those who did not vanish? This war may be fiction, but the tensions are real. Iran's nuclear ambitions, Israel's existential fear, proxy wars, political rage, miscalculation. Right now in real life, one wrong move, one cyber attack, one fall. Radar reading and the world could spiral into nuclear war. No alarm. No time, just silence. Then fire. The lesson is simple. Nuclear war does not begin with bombs. It begins with pride, with men who choose power over peace, and with the silence of those who could have stopped them but did not. A burned, empty playground to swing creaks in the wind. Then a child's voice from a tape recorder played. If anyone ever finds this, we tried, we really did. We live in a world built on the edge of destruction. But it is also a world built by love, by family, by memory, and the simple hope that tomorrow will come in the end. When the sky falls, only one thing matters.